Okay, all right, now the camera's rolling. I had a hard time getting it started. So, as you can see, I'm here again in my kitchen, which means that I have a large item. And this is Masters of the Universe Origins Stridor. So, I'm pretty excited to open this guy up. You can see that I have Fisto here with me because this is Fisto's ride, despite the fact that we see He-Man riding him on the artwork here. I mean, that's because He-Man's like the main character of the line. I do believe that when the uh, the toy was originally designed, and they got a couple of years lead time on this stuff while they're getting it made and everything. They probably did originally intend for this to be like something for He-Man to ride on, but a funny thing happened in that. I guess because Fisto was like a new figure at the time as well, they decided it would be a good idea to do a two-pack where they had both Fisto and Stridor in the set together, so kids could get two new figures instead of new figure and a new steed. Oh, and I got Jitsu over here also because he's Fisto's arch enemy, and hopefully they'll make a Night Stalker for you to ride on. It's funny because I just gotten a message from my cousin Amy the other day, and she had a couple of He-Man toys she needed identified from me, and one of them was a New Adventures figure. So of course she knew nothing about that, and she thought he looked dumb because she's like, that's not He-Man. It's like, she's thinking of the barbarian guy, like how we normally think of He-Man. She's not thinking of some dude in like blue tights and gold boots. And this was Thunder Punch He-Man, so that's the one that actually has like a proper He-Man build. Imagine how she'd have felt if she'd have seen the first New Adventures He-Man, where he's built like Bo, like skinny little He-Man. Oh, Jitsu fell over. I'll try to stand you back up. And I also have with me, I have the Masterverse Fisto, because we're going to see if he'll fit on Stridor and how it looks. So, in case anybody's curious about that. And I figure if that one fits, Classics and Club Grayskull will fit. So I'm not going to bother to try to fit a Classics figure or a Club Grayskull figure in there. If he can fit in there with his big old legs, they surely can. But we're going to find out. It's going to be fun. If I can stop having all these stupid virus pop-ups popping up. I swear, I should have just let the viruses get to my computer, because I probably then have less pop-ups at this point than I get from the antivirus software. So let's go ahead and have a look at the packaging. We've already seen Fisto at the bottom there, He-Man riding Stridor. And like I said, since these two, Fisto and Stridor, were put in a two-pack together, that kind of associated these two characters in a lot of kids' brains. And we tend to think of Stridor as being specifically something that Fisto rides. I have various vehicles that I associate with various characters. Like, for example, the Wind Raider, I very much think of as being a man-at-arms kind of vehicle, like the color schemes match and everything. So I tend to have him fly that more than I have He-Man fly it. I prefer for He-Man's plane to be the Talon Fighter. So Mattel, get on that. Make me a Talon Fighter for the Origins line with Point Dread, and have it come with the book and record too. That'd be cool. I mean, maybe Vinyl's making a comeback. Why not have a book and record come with it? That'd be cool. So, before I get to opening it, I should look at the back, shouldn't I? There goes another stupid pop-up. Will you please go away? I'm trying to make a video stuck. Literally at that second. Alright, so, got another really cool piece of artwork here on the back. He-Man riding Stridor, Castle Grayskull in the background. Got Zor the Falcon back there. Some people say Zoar, like it's two, so I just say Zor, like, Soar, but with a Z. That's how I've always said it. Got a volcano back there. You gotta love this early style Mattel artwork where Castle Grayskull's like in the middle of like this war torn battlefield, and not like Filmation had like a very specific background for Castle Grayskull. Mark Taylor had the idea that Castle Grayskull kind of warps around and goes to various places on Eternia. If we look back again at the front, you can see Screech is on here. So they got Screech and they got Zor. And we know that Zor is going to come in a 2-pack with Tila soon. So that's pretty cool. You got Skeletor flying Roton. And up here, we have a mysterious silhouetted winged figure, which we know is Sunman. But, I guess they figured maybe this would hit before the news got released, so they got Sunman on there as kind of an Easter egg. And, this is the bottom, if anybody's interested in that. The sides, nothing much to write home about, just some ugly creatures. Got this little gargoyle over here, and then you got, hey, look, it's Skeletor's dragon from Dragon Blaster Skeletor, so that's kind of neat. But other than that, not too much going on. The sides are kind of plain on this one, so... So the bio on the back reads, "One half warhorse, one half war machine. Stridor carries the heroes of Eternia to victory." It does not say which war machine it is, so I don't know if it's Terrence Howard or Don Cheadle. So I guess you just use your imagination. And it's got some, some of the features the toy has on here. It says, replace with second helmet. He's got 2 helmets. Wow. Attached to floor of castle. I'm talking about his base there with his little jumping fence. And pose into powerful battle positions, as we usually have. And then got some cross-cell artwork of some figures. We should all be familiar with these by now because I reviewed every single one of these figures. And I even have... Jitsu with me here. So yeah, will you please stop popping stuff up while I'm trying to do a video? God. Like I'm clearly recording a video. You can tell this. You're the computer. You should be able to tell. Stop putting the pop-ups in there. Anyway, so yeah, I do not have the 2 at the top, which is Flying Fist He-Man and Terror Claws Skeletor. And honestly, I'm still a little salty they skipped over Thunder Punch He-Man, which is my favorite vintage He-Man variant, in order of Flying Fist. I never even had Flying Fist He-Man, because, I'll probably talk a little bit more about that in that video when I do that, but I just wasn't that impressed with that when I was a kid, because he didn't come with a sword. Like, what kind of He-Man doesn't come with a sword? But yeah, and you can see this box is a bit dinged up, because I got this one from Amazon Warehouse, so I expected it was going to be dinged up. But again, I'm a guy who opens my packages, so I don't really care. It's better that I get the one with the destroyed package than somebody who's like a mint on card collector and they want to keep everything looking as perfect as possible. But I don't need everything to look as perfect as possible. I just need it to be able to open. So yeah, so that's what the toy looks like out of the package now. We can see it a little better without some of the reflection on there. So yeah, he's got a secondary helmet, and that's interesting. And it's a secondary helmet that's held in there with my arch enemy, the plastic tabs. I'll go ahead and cut those off. And I don't know if maybe this was based off of a prototype or something, but it definitely has like a more sort of medieval look to it with this kind of armor here, and the front of it looks almost kind of like a horse skull or something like that. I kind of feel like this might work better on Night Stalker once we get Night Stalker. But I don't think that Night Stalker came with any sort of helmet in the original vintage figure. I think that was one of the things that made him different from Stridor. So it might be that they designed this helmet so that Night Stalker can have a helmet, and figured, well, we got the tooling ready. What the hell? Go ahead and include it in with Stridor. So, and this has a few features that the original Stridor did not have. We'll get into that as soon as I get him out of the package. And core blimey, if I don't have more of these horrible plastic tabs. God, they made them so long. To wrap all the way around the entire figure. So, and then there's a little rubber band down here attaching him into the fence. That fence is going to be held in there by something, I'm sure. Do I have everything else to get Stridor out? I do, except for rubber band at the bottom. Looks like a rubber band. So, a couple of features that this guy has that the original Stridor did not have. And, like I mentioned, and now I've got rubber bands all tangled around his ankles. Gotta get those off. Not that time I knocked Jitsu over. I'm just gonna put him over there. You should be safe over there. Okay. So for one thing, his legs are now articulated, and this is great because this was one of the things that really disappointed me about the original Stridor. Is that I saw him in the package, and he's got these joints sculpted into his legs. Ooh, that's a nice click. He's got these joints sculpted into his legs, so I'm thinking to myself, oh, well, those legs are articulated, even though I didn't know the word articulated yet. So I'm just like, oh, his legs will move. That's cool. So that they kind of ratchet. I think that this is supposed to be the natural position, because then his legs would be more even with the front legs. The back legs would be even with the front legs, I mean to say. But it turned out that they weren't articulated. They weren't even articulated at the hips, which you would think, since it's a separate piece of plastic, obviously they could be articulated, but they chose not to for whatever reason. So I'm going to tilt this down a little bit more so we can look more at the toy instead of my ugly mug. And there we see, got him standing on the ground, pretty normal. But since he's articulated, we can put some more action positions into it. I'm not an expert on horse anatomy, so I don't know how best to pose him as far as a running pose. But you could look up pictures online of like a horse running and get him into the right position. For now, I think we'll just have him standing normally. He's got the cannon in the back, like the original Stridor had, and this tail, I'm trying to see if it's removable, but if it is, it's certainly in there good. So I don't know. I don't want to remove it really, because that's one of the more frequently lost parts on the original Stridor. And you can see he's got a seat, not a saddle, so you actually sit the character in Stridor. There's some articulation in the neck, not only where the neck meets the head like you would expect, but also in the middle of the neck itself. So we can tilt Stridor's head up and have him looking face on, unlike the original Stridor, who I think was pretty much just posed like this and just always, looking at the ground. So they have improved upon the original Stridor's design in quite a number of ways, just in what we've seen so far. So, and then there's also some accessories here. And this base was actually not really held into the package by anything. At least not anything that wasn't, holding Stridor in also. So I got that out already, very easy. And then we've got the fence. I don't know what you call this thing. I don't know the typical term. I just know it killed Christopher Reeve, so I hate it. How dare you make a horse throw one of my idols and break his neck? Oh, but yeah, that's how that fits together. And that also was just kind of tensioned into the back there. I guess all this kind of stuff, they figured, the horse is already bound in there and he'll hold all that stuff in there, so it's not a big deal. And then this was just held in there by one little rubber band. That's a little clear action stand. And it looks like it curves forward. Yep, indeed, there is a little plastic ridge here. And you can see there's a little groove there, right there. And that makes it so you can only put this in there one way, and that's going forward. So there we go. And then we've got a few more accessories still in this box. And it looks like these are the ones that are in there nice and deep like. So I'll try to pop those out as best I can. We got the two laser blasters that are going to fit on the front. So he's got man, they did not make this easy to get out. Because not only are they buried deeply in the plastic, but the plastic itself, you know, is cast in. Wow! But I got that one out. So I'm finding the best way to do this is to try to pop the back out where the peg is, and that'll give you a little more leverage, however you want to pronounce that. And it'll pop right out. But you see how I had to like mutilate all of this. And then the last thing is in here is this is a pretty neat accessory that was included that also the original Stridor did not have. And as we can see, it is a cool jump rope for our Masters of the Universe figures to keep in shape. And it's pretty long, so they can even, you know, do the thing where like two of them are doing, you know, jumping rope in the middle. And Jitsu, you are just not having any luck today, are you? I'm going to pick him up real quick since he's now fallen onto the floor. Why don't we just leave you prone? I think that might be the best thing for now. I'm trying to do a comedy bit here. So yeah, so you can have your two He-Man figures, you know, twirling the jump rope while a third one jumps in the middle. And, you know, jump roping is really good cardiovascular exercise. And that's why you see Rocky do it in the Rocky movies. So it's actually not a jump rope, although it could be used for that. And what it really is it is a stirrup that will fit into Stridor's articulated mouth. What? Yeah, he's got an articulated mouth. That's crazy. You know, I saw it was a separate piece, and I figured it's probably just because they want to have softer plastic in there, so it'll be more pliable to fit the stirrups in there. But no! It's actually you have an articulation here at the mouth. It's got a spring on it, so it should hold it taut in there. So you don't have to worry about that falling out, hopefully. But yeah, that's pretty cool. How about that? All right, so let's we're gonna take this helmet off of him because I want to see what he looks like with the more mean-looking, threatening. Oh, he's a badass-looking horse, ain't he? Have you ever seen a more badass-looking robot horse? I don't think you have. Well, maybe Night Stalker. I don't know. So another one of these antivirus things. Everything you once swore to destroy. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to put the laser blasters in. And that is a really snug fit. And that peg's pretty short. So I kind of wonder, like even with it being as snug as it is, I kind of worry it might fall out. But yeah, so that's what he looks like with the laser blasters in there. And so we got these stirrups in there, and they're just kind of dangling around. Yeah, you could maybe like hang them on there. I don't know. If nobody's riding them, you could maybe fit them back here, but it looks like it's too short to do that. So that's unfortunate. Maybe just kind of, if nobody's riding them, put them up there, or just remove it entirely. Like I said, the original one didn't have that, and I kind of figure you were supposed to have him work Stridor from these controls back here, rather than stirrups. So he's not like, you know, an organic horse. And obviously, these aren't going to be much good with Fisto anyway, because he's got a giant honking prosthetic fist for a hand. he can't hold a stirrup. So I think I'm just going to take that out and set it aside. Now, I'm not complaining about this. I do think this is a really good addition, and it's a nice little thing to have on there. And if you have another character, like He-Man or Teela or somebody ride him, obviously those might come in handy. But they're not going to work for Fisto, so for now I'm just going to set them aside. So yeah, let's try to get him into a little bit more of a sitting position with the legs. At least something somewhat resembling, the pose that the original He-Man figures had with that sort of squat sort of pose. That's what's really designed to fit in here, I think. And he does go in there very easily. He's fit in there pretty well. Is his butt going to touch the seat? Yeah, his butt touches the seat. So it's not something we see a lot with these He-Man vehicles. Yeah, you got like a nice little sticker on the back there with some detailing. I don't remember if the original Stridor had that, but it's a nice little bit. I don't think the original Stridor had the silver detailing on the legs, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, that's what Fisto looks like when he's sitting in Stridor. Pretty cool. I like the way that these two guys work together. It's obviously they have different color schemes, but I kind of feel like these color schemes kind of complement each other a little bit. You got Fisto with the dark purple and the silver, and then you have Stridor has brown and orange and more silver. So the silver is kind of a unifying element, but then you have like some other colors that I kind of feel like they work together and complement each other. Like the kind of the light orange and the dark purple are almost kind of like opposite colors to each other. Because, yellow and purple are opposite colors on the color wheel, and this is just yellowy enough, and this purple is just dark enough. They look almost kind of like what you would imagine a photo negative looking like. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's going to be the way I think that this guy is going to be displayed on my shelf. I think I'm going to have Fisto sitting in it. I don't know if I'll use this Fisto. I might wind up using the custom Fisto that I made, since I do have one. But yeah, he'll be displayed riding Stridor. That's how I'm going to display Stridor. Speaking of display, let's have a look at this base, and we can see that he's got like a hole at the bottom here, so we can plug him into that. And again, I don't know much about horse anatomy, so I don't know if this is going to be like an accurate pose or not. But we can go ahead and plug him in there, and kind of go for like a Lone Ranger rearing up on his horse kind of position. And that's pretty cool. Gotta love that. So, and he jumps over his little fence and hopefully actually makes it. We don't want a Christopher Reeve situation again. I'm just so sad now. So, I don't think this is going to fit too well, because it seems like it's fit just for the old school figures. But let's go ahead and see, just for fun, let's try to fit this Fisto in there and see how that looks. And actually, surprisingly not bad. Now, his butt does not touch the seat. But he's got that longer loincloth anyway, so that was always going to be an issue. But he actually fits in there pretty good, and I think that looks pretty cool. What do you guys think? Huh? So if you want to have a Fisto for your, or if you want to have a Stridor for your Masterverse Fisto to ride, this is a pretty good substitution, I think, for a Classics one, which actually would probably be like obviously made for a figure more in this scale. But that's going to be like super hella expensive right now. Whereas this guy, he can be had for like $30 retail. And like I said, I got mine for a bit cheaper because I got him off of Amazon warehouse deals with the dinged up box. And that saved me a good bit of scratch. And like I said, anything I order on Amazon, I'm basically getting for free anyway, because I do all that stuff for gift cards and stuff. So, which is why I try to get as much of this stuff off of Amazon as I can. So, this gets a definite recommend. I'm going to switch him back to the classic style of Stridor helmet. And this does fit on here pretty snugly. It's got 2 ear holes instead of 1 ear hole like this one has. But yeah, it's this is definitely a recommend, especially if you like this character. Especially if you have Fisto, so that way you don't have to walk everywhere. So, Jitsu, maybe you'll have a Night Stalker forthcoming. I guess it depends on how well this one sells, but they've already got all the tooling for it, so might as well do a Night Stalker. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe and all the fun YouTube stuff down below. Let me know what you think about this figure in the comments. I always like seeing comments on my videos, so that's fun. And I think that's pretty much it for this time. So like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Hit the little bell thing if you want me to pop up in your push notifications. I think that's about it. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.